In the day's other news, General Motors and United Auto Workers reached a tentative deal to end a month-long strike. Terms of the 4-year contract were not released, but the UAW said it won major gains for some 49,000 workers. The union had demanded higher wages, better pay for new hires, and a promise to build more vehicles inside the U.S. Union leaders meet tomorrow to vote on the deal. The U.S. Special Envoy on Iran says the withdrawal from northeast Syria does not undermine efforts to pressure Iran. At a hearing today, senators from both sides warned the pullout will aid the Syrian regime and its Iranian allies, but Brian Hook disagreed.
The president's decision with respect to Syria is not going to change our Iran strategy or the efficacy of it. Iran doesn't have the money that it used to support Assad and to support its proxies. And so Iran is going to face a dilemma. They can either support guns in Syria or prioritize the needs of their own people at home.
President Trump withdrew from the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran last year and has imposed a wide range of economic sanctions. There were signs today that a new Brexit deal may be close. Britain and the European Union held talks through the night and into the day. The chief EU negotiator reported good progress. The leaders of France and Germany said an agreement could be sealed at an EU summit tomorrow. Spain is enduring a third night of street violence over Catalonia's push for independence. In Barcelona, thousands turned out and battled riot police this evening. Protesters set fires and threw rocks and bottles. The violence began Monday after 9 separatist leaders were convicted of sedition and sent to prison. In Hong Kong, Chief Executive Leader Carrie Lam criticized votes in the U.S. Congress backing pro-democracy demonstrators. She warned it could, quote, hurt American interests in Hong Kong, and she noted there are more than 1,400 American businesses and 85,000 U.S. citizens in the city.
I don't need foreign parliaments to tell us how important Hong Kong's human rights, freedoms, and judiciary are, because these are the core values of Hong Kong, which every Hong Kong person will try their best to safeguard.
Earlier, pro-democracy lawmakers jeered and blocked Lam as she tried to give an annual speech. She eventually spoke via video link and insisted Hong Kong is still a, quote, very free society. Also today, a leading protest organizer was attacked by unknown assailants with hammers. Supporters charged it was part of a campaign of political terror. Chinese tech giant Huawei has reported a double-digit gain in sales in the face of U.S. sanctions. The company said today that sales for the year were up 24% through September. President Trump says Huawei is a security risk, and last May, he limited its access to U.S. technology. So far, though, he has delayed enforcing those sanctions. Back in this country, New York's Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo signed a bill aimed at President Trump's use of his pardon power. It will let the state prosecute people even after they receive pardons for federal crimes. The goal is to ensure that President cannot use pardons to derail state investigations of his associates. Jury selection began today in Cleveland in the first federal trial stemming from the opioid epidemic. 2 Ohio counties are suing 6 drug makers and distributors. Some 2,000 other suits are still pending. Today's proceedings come amid reports that 3 of the companies are offering a settlement of $18 billion over 18 years. And on Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 22 points to close below 27,002. The Nasdaq fell 24 points and the S&P 500 slipped 6. Still to come on the News Hour, analysis of the critical moments from last night's Democratic debate. Hope in the darkness, opening a new frontier in the fight against Alzheimer's, and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.